and I came across XLR and I attended.
Actually, for certificate here.
Hello guys, I'm Vikram Mahajan and I'm studying in Swami Vivekananda Institute of Technology College, and I came across a training program which was mobile app development using Flutter, which was given to us by XLR Solutions. I came across this program through my college faculty who told us about this program, that it is a very good course and you should enroll in this course. So I enrolled in this course, and initially I felt really good about this course because they started everything from a very basic point of view, that even if someone who doesn't know anything about Flutter or anything about mobile app development can also learn the same way the ones who know about it are learning. So no student was left behind and everyone was given equal attention. All the doubts throughout the course were cleared, and if we had any questions also, we were like, the trainer was also ready to stay for a longer time than it was scheduled, even for the sake of doubts. So that shows how important the students are to them. So it was a really good experience with XLR's program, and by the end of the training program, I was able to develop my own application. And through the development also, there was another point. Our sir taught us about how we can connect our own mobile phone to our laptop and write code in our laptop, and you can see the output in your phone. It was really creative and interesting for me. I felt really good about that. So in the end, I developed my own mobile application. I showed it to my mother, I showed it to my friends. I felt really good about it. So I would really suggest XLR. I would recommend it to all my friends to take courses from here, as they focus on the children, focus on the students, and they focus on what's necessary, that is the students' doubts gets cleared and everything else. So today I came down to the XLR office to collect my certificate. So I got to know about what other courses XLR is offering. It included data analysis, data analyst, social media marketing, and full stack Java, and many more courses which were interesting, and they gave us an insight of how everything happens. And they take you through the course from the starting of the course to the end, and what next, that is placements as well. How you should be going into the interviews and how you should be approaching to companies, your resume building, and there were so many things which XLR is going to help you in, and they are ready to give you all the knowledge required even if you are a beginner. So I really felt good about this visit, and I would really recommend XLR to everyone who's listening to this, and also to all my friends, that I had a very good experience with XLR, and I would suggest you to experience the same. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Satish and I am from Swami Vivekananda Institute of Technology. I am here to share my experience about XLR program. I took part in the XLR program that was conducted in the last month about the mobile app development using Flutter. What I liked the most about this session was the trainer started from the scratch. That means even the beginner who don't know about the basics of the program, even they can learn the most from this program. It gave me hands-on experience by developing a project which was the final outcome. Thank you XLR for giving me this opportunity, and I would also recommend all my friends to take part in the XLR programs. Thank you.
My name is Tasneem. I'm the Senior Manager at 98 Percentile in the HR department. And today we did a wonderful drive with XLR. It was amazing right from the very beginning, from the very first day when I got in touch with them till today. I think it was an extremely smooth journey with them. There were multiple follow-ups done by the representatives in order to check that we would be, what time we would be coming, how many people would be coming, what vehicle we would get. To that extent, they were so precise in giving all the information to us. It was extremely great to get associated with them and have a drive at XLR campus. So we are very, very happy that we got a chance to do this. Now, coming to the students, what XLR had, I think they were extremely enthusiastic. They were well prepared. They were aware of what they are coming for. I think there was some back-end preparation which they did that was commendable. They also were very confident and they were open to any kind of thing we were asking them to do. That was I think the best part. Now, I really hope we have a very, very fruitful association with each one of them and XLR in future. We are really looking forward to have many more drives like this.
Hi everyone, my name is Prachi Sharma and I'm the Senior Project Manager for IT Department at 98th percentile. So today we were here for this IT bootcamp, right, this technical drive and at XLR. So it was a great experience and I would feel that the students, they are the freshers, right, but it doesn't seem like that. So if I talk about their technical and cognitive ability, they all seems pretty good in that and that's what I felt. And I guess they have been taught pretty well at XLR, so that's how they have performed good in their aptitude and the technical tests. So I wish them all the best and it was a very great experience over here.
Hi, this is Patan, Technology Consulting Manager from 98th percentile. We visited XLR for the campus placement drive and it went very well today. Miss Ambika, Miss Pragati, everyone received us greatly here and we had a lot of enjoyable time here. The students even had great experience with us. They were interactive, they had good aptitude and all the technological skills they showed. I think they were all well and we really appreciate their time that they spared to us and I think we will be doing a great job. We are expecting a lot of people to be hired from them. Let's see. It was a great experience altogether.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
From entering into this cyber tower to exiting out of this tower, the XLR team has been received me with such a care and pleasure.
I am the part of this XLR since 4 months. From the third month itself, they have conducted the placement sessions from the third month itself, and this is the fourth month, and this is the 98th percentile is one of the placement drive I have attended so far, and attending to this drive is such a good experience for me. All the HRs and the team made us feel very comfortable and confident.
XLR helped me a lot, and I experienced a lot of things today. So I'm really hope to be placed in that company. I'm confident about that. Thank you.
Good morning, students. So, Amita, you can start the session.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So I was just checking out like the things were not working, so I rejoined. Yes, good morning, everyone. So, yes, we have participants. We'll start. So we'll revise the things what we discussed yesterday, and then we will continue with today's discussion, right? Just give me 1 minute. I'll share the screen. So we were discussing about Node.js, right? We understood like how the things will differ from front end to back end, right? So we understood like JavaScript was the one which was used only at the front end because of the JavaScript engine. So it is a runtime environment where the JavaScript was running, and it was being converting into the machine code, and thus JavaScript was executable inside the browser. So it was limited only to the front end part, right? So where we understood like Rand Dahl in 2009 has embedded it with, embedded the V8 engine of Chrome into a C++ program and called it as Node, right? So with which we could understand that it is helping some or the other way to build the applications bit faster with less response time and with less lines of code. So that is what I've told you. So how those things will happen, we'll see in the upcoming sessions, right? So for that, yesterday we have downloaded the Node. So we understood that Node is nothing but a runtime environment where JavaScript can be run outside the browser, right? So it is a large ecosystem, we said, because it is having a lot of packages, built-in packages as well as published packages where we can, directly use that code and make our things faster, make our, process of developing faster. Also, it helps the developers, the front-end developers to easily move to the full stack, developing, they improve their skills and move into the, full stack, you can say the domain, right? So those things we understood. We also understood that like as soon as we install Node, we got installed with NPM, right? So NPM is a software library, we said. So why we need the library, we understood, because there should be some central repository kind of thing which gives information for every developer out the world, right? So we understood that part, and we understood like this is the default package manager, NPM, and we have few other package managers as well, that is PNPM, Yarn, likewise. So we will be using NPM, the default one itself, right? So we got to understand till there. Now you understood in MERN, M stands for Mongo, E stands for Express, R stands for React, and N stands for Node, right? So with these 4 skill set that we are going to improve, what kind of applications you will be building? First, let us understand that, and then we will start using the NPM in our project. Okay. So, the MERN Stack applications, what kind of applications can be built out of MERN Stack? So the very first thing that I want to talk is, it is real-time applications. So where Node plays a major role in building the real-time application. What does it mean, real-time application? Like collaboration tools. Like you can say collaboration in the sense, collaborating with your team members, holding some meeting kind of thing. So it is a kind of, you're collaborating with your team members. So such kind of applications can be built out of, the Node helps in dealing with very easy way to create those kind of real-time applications. Like, for example, right now we are talking, we are holding the meeting in Zoom. So Zoom is a kind of a collaboration, right? So you can understand such kind of tools or such kind of applications can be easily made through Node. Now there are also chat applications, right? You can understand WhatsApp. So such kind of chat applications, these are called as real-time applications, where really, where in day-to-day life, the user will use them for their ease of work. Okay. So, and also if you take example of real-time application, the gaming applications, right? So the gaming applications also, comes under the real-time application. So these kind of applications can be built out of ease with the Node supporting for these kind of applications. As I've told you, single page applications, yesterday we have discussed, where React plays a major role in, front-end part, where we talk about single page application. So that is what I've told you yesterday. If you want to create a single page applications, then React plays a major role over here, because it, renders a page. It doesn't re-render the page. It just changes the part of the page, which needs to be changed, right? Because of the features that React supports. So that is what we understood. So it could be a maps, it could be email services, it could be social media apps, right? So where we think about, creating the front-end part or front-end UI with the features that are supported with React. So such kind of applications can be built out of, MERN with the skill set of MERN. Now, if we talk about data-driven application, what is the meaning of data-driven application? Now, where the data is there should be some kind of database, right? So Mongo will play a major role. Mongo will play a major role over here, right? So where it is a NoSQL database, I have told you, it can store large amount of data. There is no proper structure that we can, but to use Mongo, we need Express as well, which is, to build a data-driven application, we need a support of Mongo, obviously, for the databases. But, we need at the end, we need some server to pull the data from the, the database. So there comes, the collaboration of this, Mongo and Express. Express is nothing but internally using Node, right? So such kind of application where you can say e-commerce applications or, social media applications where something like if you're going to your profile, if you're checking your friends, inside your, you're searching for some friends, you're, trying to connect with them. It means it is going to pull some data, right, from the database. And then, so such kind of applications where you need some data to be pulled, like e-commerce application yesterday I've shown you, right? So such kind of applications can be built ease out of this particular, the MERN skill set that we are going to, improve over here. So these kind of applications can be implemented out of. So for that, I guess you're clear on how we can transit from front end to back end, right? With with a good knowledge on JavaScript, with the features it is supporting, we can easily use JavaScript at the back end and try to, build the applications, right? So as we have downloaded with the Node yesterday, right? We got installed with NPM. Let's try to understand on how to start a project in Node, right? So for that, I would like you to, be in, start practicing with me as well. If you have any kind of doubt at the end, you can ask me, else you can put it in the chat window anytime, right? As we have discussed. So we'll see how to use NPM to install the packages first. Okay. So let me just go over here. I think my screen is completely visible, right? Fine. So if we have the node over here, yes, anyone, how to install NPM? So that is what I've told you yesterday. We have installed Node. If anybody was absent yesterday, now you can see over here, to use NPM, we need to install Node. If anybody is absent, if you didn't attend yesterday's session, you need to install Node, go to Google Chrome, and then you'll be installing the Node. Okay. After installing, the NPM will automatically get installed. That is what I've told you just now over here, that whenever you install Node. So earlier, JavaScript was used only at the front end. Since 2009, we are able to use it. So when we install, yesterday we have installed Node. What is Node? I have told you just now. It is a runtime environment where, we can run JavaScript outside the browser. So to use or to build a Node project, we need Node obviously to be downloaded. So when we install it, we have the NPM installed with it. Okay. So that is what one thing. So let's start using this software library and let's try to use few packages first. Okay. Just give me 1 minute. I need to open my. Till then, you also can start creating a folder wherever you want. Open it in your Visual Studio Code. Okay. Create a folder. Create a folder and open it in Visual Studio Code like this. Okay, like this. So I have created a folder and my folder is open over here. So you can create a folder, drag and drop it into the Visual Studio Code. Now here we can create the files. Okay, so for that, let us understand, before using the packages, let us understand few more things. So to start with Node project, right? So I can press Control Tilt and you will get this terminal. You can go to this 3 dots. You can go to terminal and open the new terminal as well. So over here, we are inside this particular folder, right? So now what we will do to initiate a particular node project, there is a command. Okay. As we know, we have installed node, we have npm. Now using npm, we can do many things, right? So we have to initiate a node project, right? So what we can do, we can say init, npm init. Okay. So whenever we say npm init, what happens? You can observe. So these are the few things that you should understand, because you will understand what is a folder structure first of all, and then you will be able to understand where to place your files. Yes. So it is asking, so this utility will walk you through creating a package.json file. So by using this command, what will happen? This is going to create a package.json file. Now, what is this package.json file? We will understand in a while. So as I have given the folder name as session, it is going to give my package. So whatever you create is a kind of package. If you wish to publish it, then other developers can use it, right? So I'm going to create a package. By default, the computer has read the sessions as a folder name as a package name. So we can put it whatever you want. You can place it as over there. So introduction to node, right? You can put the description, entry point. So which file? By default, you know, the node is going to take index.js as an entry point. So you can rename that later as well. You can manually create this package.json. So because as you are not aware initially, what you can do, you can follow the process, because npm is helping you, or node is helping you on what kind of key value pairs. You can understand over here, we are having few key value pairs. Okay. So these are very important to, you know, get to understand about the project that you are going to build. So what is that? We'll discuss about in a while. So for now, you can understand these are key value pairs, right? So you can just click enter, enter, enter. You can give these all things. Now you can see this has given us a JSON object with all the values that we have given. So once you click enter, right? Is this okay? Yes. So once you click enter, what happens? There will be a package.json file with the values that we have given just now will be created. There are few ways you can create manually as well. You can follow this process, or if you delete it as well, if you use a command called npm init-y, that is yes. So again, this particular package.json will be re-added to your project. So these are the few things. Now you can see over here, we have these values, right? So the main, so what does it mean? This is very important over here. So the main field is a module ID. It is nothing but like an entry point of your program. What does it mean? It means whenever you run this project, this file will get executed. Like in React, there is app. App is the main component, right? So whenever you start it, the app is the component which is going to call the other child components, or you can say the components that are inherited, you know, inside that. So likewise here in main, index.js, there will be a main entry point, so through which you can run the project. So we will be creating this file over here. That is nothing but index.js. This could be anything. We can give any name over here, right? So till here it is clear. I hope you are also doing along with me, right? Now, after this, there will be one more set of file that will be added over here. That is nothing but package log.json. Now, what is that? Let us understand it in a while. But before that, let me tell you what is package.json. Let me show you. So now you can see over here, what is package.json? It is nothing but a configuration file. What does mean by configuration file? You can see the details that we have added. What is the package name? Which version it is? For example, you have added some features to your package. Then it means the version is changing. Like we are installing the next version, right? You are able to see. So likewise, we can change the version name and then we can publish it back again. So likewise, it's like a configuration file about your package, right? It is a JSON file which lives in the root directory. So you could see over here, it is lying in the root directory over here, right? So it is the main folder inside which it is lying. So likewise, package.json is a central place to configure and describe how to interact and run your package. So that is what I've told you. Like this is a configuration file about your project, which held some metadata. What is the meaning of metadata? Information about your project. With this, what happens? You can ask me, why do we need this? Because when you're collaborating with your team, whatever the dependency in the next, in a while we will see. So the developers, you can say, they can go through this particular file and they can understand, you know, what kind of dependencies you have been, you know, using it and what they have to use it to run their particular code, right? So it helps the things to be collaborating with this metadata because it is a configuration file to run your project. Okay. So now what we will do now, we will understand few more things. Okay. Now let's start using the package. I guess it is clear till here, right? So we understood what kind of applications can be built, right? So now what we will do, we'll start using one of the package. So as soon as I use one of the package, what happens? For example, let me go over here and let me type npm. I have just typed npm over here. You can see you have the documentation. As soon as you click on the documentation, you have all the methods. You can start using them. What is package? What is modules? You know, you have lots of content that you can read out of it. Okay. So this is one thing. And so we want to use a particular package, for example. So you can start searching about the packages, whatever you want. For example, let's start with a simple one, uppercase, right? So if you talk about simple packages that you want to use, yes, we can write the code in JavaScript. You can tell or you can think about why you want to use packages when you know how to write it in JavaScript, right? We can convert the text into, you know, uppercase, lowercase, whichever case we want. But what the thing is happening over here, by using the package, you're just using the method names. Everything is handled by the package, right? So likewise, so we can use the packages like this, right? So swap the case. So basically what happens whenever we use those kind of methods that are inbuilt inside that, so the case will be changing, right? So likewise, I'm going to show you a particular package called chalk. So let us try to install this particular package. So chalk, what does it mean? It is going to change the font, or you can see it is going to format the things. Okay, it is going to format the things. So basically, you can see over here. So whenever you are trying to install any particular package, if you are not okay with it, you can start more, you know, you can say, do more check on it. You try using different kind of things. Just read about them, then you will be able to understand. Few things you have to take care. That is nothing but when it is published, whether it is deprecated or not. So this is the command that we will use. You can see over here, npm I chalk. It is nothing but npm install the chalk package. How many downloads are there? What is the version? You get every information out of this particular repository. What is this npm? It is a repository, or it is a registry, you can say, right? It is a registry, or you can say it is a library where we have a lot of packages. Okay. So if you want to publish your own package, you have to sign in, you have to follow a few process, and then only you will be able to, I mean to say, first you have to sign up, and then only you can try to, you know, publish the package, right? So with this, what we will do, we'll go into a particular folder and let us try to install this, the chalk ones. So till now, you can see in the package.json, there is no dependencies as a key value pair. So as soon as you install your first package, okay, as soon as you install your first package, what happens? There will be two more files will be added to your folder structure. One is package lock.json, the other is the node modules. And in the package JSON file, you can see there is one more key value pair that is added. That is nothing but dependencies. Inside the dependencies, the chalk that we were searching just now has got added. So whenever you try to use any more packages, they will be added to this particular, the JSON object. Clear? So what is package lock JSON then, right? So when you use the first package, you got 2 more files added to it. That is nothing but package log JSON. Now, what is package log JSON? You can see over here, it is also having the package, the project that we have created, the package that we have created, its metadata, right? What are the dependencies that we are adding? So the developer, your code developer can check the dependencies from this particular list and also can install them. Now, where from that particular, the team member will be able to understand more details about it. It is a version. So this package log.json will have a more detailed information about the package that you are using. Okay. So likewise, here you can see we have a detailed information from which registry, it is totally giving the right information or clear information about the packages that we will use. So whenever you install any new package, this package log.json will keep on extending. Okay. Yes, please. You can tell me.
What command did you use to get the package log.json?
We no need to give any command. Whenever you use your first package, it automatically get installed. Node will take care about it. Okay, npm will take care about it. Right, the package manager is going to take care about it, and it is added automatically. Just use the command, this command for now, and what you will be able to see, you'll be able to see these 2 files. Okay, fine. So after that, now you can check over here in the node modules, we have only this particular chalk added, right? After few, packages that you use, you can see all the built-in modules will be added to this particular node modules folder. Right now, we have only this particular, the chalk. So it is all about only one package. So when you start using the first built-in module as well, this entire node modules will be filled up with all the predefined core modules, you can see. Okay. So we'll see about that. I guess this much is clear. So what we will do to use our particular file, or you can say the package, we'll simply try to use simple JavaScript today, right now. Okay. Now over here, there are few things that you have to remember. So that is nothing but whenever you say type module. So in Node, we have 2 types of importing the packages. That is nothing but the common JS way and ES6. So the common JS is nothing but by default. Okay. So as you can also import the packages in this way in JavaScript. So this is nothing but ES version of importing the packages. We'll see both of them. You'll see the differences. But for now, we can use this thing, right? So let us start using this. So whenever you start importing it, so to import it, one more thing that you have to do is, let me show you on how to, use these things. This here, show you one thing. Now you can see over here, whenever we try to use the type of module in your package.json, you can add one more value, key value pair, that is type. What is the type of, that you want to use to install the packages? So type is common JS. It is nothing but the default one. If you want to use, the other one will be using it for now. Okay. So later you'll be checking with the different ways of using it. So over here, you can add one more. As I've told you, okay. So whenever we are adding, you have to add in the JSON object over here, you have to add it with the double quotes. Okay. Now you can see as soon as we have given the colon, there are 2 ways of installing the packages in Node. That is common JS, the default one. And this is module. We are trying to use module now. Module is nothing but ES. Okay, ES version of importing the things. So you could see in JavaScript this kind of importing statements, right? This kind of importing statements. So we'll use the same right now, and then we'll switch to the common JS as well. Okay, so let's start using it. Let's import it then. So as we want to use it, so this is like a variable. Okay, import chalk from chalk. So as soon as we start, we have imported it. What we can do, we can add it to our, we can use it basically, right? So let us try to create a simple file over here. Let's try to, use a JavaScript, create a JavaScript function. Let's try to export it and try to call that particular function and then use the chalk, right? So what we are trying to do over here, we are trying to create a particular function, and what you can do, you can call this particular package, you can call this particular function wherever you want. You know about this, right? When you know about the JavaScript. So likewise, here we are trying to greet a particular person, right? So likewise, over here, let's try to add it. It's a simple lock message that we are trying to do it. So as we are using ES6, this thing, we can use template literal, and what we can do, we can call this name. Okay, if anybody is not aware of this JavaScript tilt symbol, it is nothing but, this particular, the way of using template literal, you have to use the tilt symbol beside the one number, and then you have to use a dollar so that you can use the variables direct. This is one of the feature added, right? So likewise, we have this. Now to call, we'll simply call it, right? We'll simply call it. Then what happens whenever we call this particular function? Now, till now, we have not used this particular package. Now, once you run it, what happens? How to run the node project. So if you remember, if you have used JavaScript, or if you have run the node project at the front end part, if you want to run .js file, so in your local, we need node, because node creates a runtime environment, right? So with the node, we are trying to call our file that is nothing but index.js. So as soon as you run it, right now we have our text which is showing up, right? If you export it, you can use it somewhere else. But for now, we are not doing that, right? So over here, as we have imported the package, right? So chalk dot, now what you can do, so over here, this particular, this will work like a function or a method, right? So chalk, now we have the chalk, the package that we have imported. So with this, you can simply call all the properties that are added to it, right? So for example, you can say yellow, bright. So with this, what happens? It is going to change the text color of this particular string. Okay. So likewise, you can use all the ones, you can check with all the ones that you want to use. Okay. So likewise, once you give the dot over here, you can use this all particular methods that are present inside it, right? So you can go to the NPM repository as well. You can check. Always the NPM repository documents will be providing you with few things. You can change it, you can format it right now with this simple package. So we have seen how to use a simple package right now. Basically on how to use a simple package, right? So likewise, yes. So you can check it at your end. If it is done till here, we have used our first package. Okay. Now what we will do, we'll try to understand few more other things. So as you are aware of what is a, how to use a package now, we will understand about one of the module called HTTP. Before using that particular module, let us understand what is a REST API first of all. Okay, so using HTTP module, we'll try to create a server. Okay, so but before that, let us understand what is REST API. Now, so yesterday I've told you whenever we try to request a particular page, it means the request is reaching a server and the server is giving us the response. So the response is in the terms of files. We have understood that. Okay. Now, what are those files? It could be the HTML, CSS, JavaScript. We have understood. But think about applications where there are multiple requests. Okay. It means after just, if it is a simple website, or it is a static web page. So if the files are so many files and, it is sending every time we ask a particular page, it is sending us a particular .html file, with the JavaScript and all, that is fine. So what the thing will do, the browser will re-render it, it will parse it and it will render it, right? This is fine. But think about complex applications, like for example, Book My Show, right? So if I talk about a simple application, any kind of complex application, so what you might think, you want to, visit a particular event, or, you want to go and attend an event, you want to watch a movie. So then what you will do, you'll go to the Book My Show, you'll search for your own convenient time, your own particular day, right? If it is available, it should give you the result. And again, you will ask, a few more questions over there. You're keeping on interacting with it. So once you try to keep on interacting with it, it means you're sending multiple requests. Now what happens? Not only me, it is, huge number of requests will be coming through the network. So how the server will be able to handle it? If you send, every time there is a request, if you send back a particular HTML file, do you think it will send in that way? If it is happening with the .html file, sending the files in that way, what happens? There will be a lot of congestion. There will be a network. The network will be very slow. So such kind of problems will arise. So there comes a picture of a REST API. Now what REST API is going to do, let me show you. So as we have discussed, request response happens with HTML, CSS files. If the request if every time the request, the response is coming in .html file with this huge traffic, there will be a lot of congestion and the performance will decrease. So we have got introduced with REST API. Now what REST API is going to do? It is not going to return the files in the form of .html files. Whereas REST is nothing but representational state transfer. Okay, RESTful APIs. What does it mean? Whenever you try to click like this, okay, whenever you try to click like this, what happens? You are trying to, go and search for a particular, for a particular city. So in that case, what happens? You keep on checking for a particular movie. You start searching about the events. You keep on requesting with the things. Then what happens? You're checking for another request. That is nothing but today I want to watch it. Tomorrow I want to watch it. What are the categories that you will see? You're keeping on requesting the things. So how, the pages will be, performant, how you can make the pages performant? Because if you get every time you get a .html file, then the things will be difficult, right? So to handle those things, what we can do, we can create the REST APIs. Now, how the REST APIs are going to give you the response? Because the things that I have clicked over there, like today, at this particular time, this event I want to attend. So everything will be wrapped like an object. Okay. What kind of object it, or you can say it is nothing but an object. If you have worked with React, if you are already aware of React, when we are creating a React project, we create the state inside the component, right? So that state is nothing but it is having again JSON object, right? So it is having some key value pairs like this that I'm showing you over here. So which city, which movie, which category that you are thinking about, or what time you want to. So everything will be handled like a state. Now this state will go like a request. Now once the request reaches to the server will update the same state with a new values, okay, with the values, and then it will send the response. Did it send the response in the .html file? No. Now what the front end part can do, the front end part can read those values and make the changes on the UI. Now did the page re-render? No, it has just changed the values over there. So likewise, we can send the response in the form of JSON format or XML format. Now what is XML? It is a way of transferring the data. So these are the two most used for the changing the state of this particular APIs, right? Usually we work on JSON. JSON is the most used ones. Wherever you go, wherever you see the APIs, JSON is the most the ones that have been used. So you can see the difference. It is nothing but it is a kind of HTML way of handling the values, XML format, whereas this is like a key value pairs. So this is a JSON format. Okay, I hope you got to understand how the REST API works. So representational state transfer. What is the meaning of representational state transfer? RE stands for representational, S stands for state transfer. Now there was a change in the state that I have talked about. Initially, we were requesting few things. That was, the initial state, null, 0, nothing was inside that. So when it reached the server, this state has been, changed. It has been updated. So it is a change in the state. So that is the reason these, APIs are called as representational state transfer. So the state has been changed. Okay, what is the REST API? It is an architectural way. This is how we create the APIs. It is a kind of architectural way of creating the APIs. So to communicate between the client and the server, right? So with which it, increases the development time of creating the applications will be a bit faster because there is no re-rendering that is happening. Only the state is changing and the UI part, the front end part can read that state and update the things. One more thing, there are many, protocols, or you can say the rules or standards that REST API follows, like stateless. What does it mean, stateless? It means whenever the client has requested something to the server and the response has been sent, there is no information about the client with the server. The server is not going to keep any information about the server. But in stateful applications, what happens? It has a clear information about which user, you can say what is the IP address of that particular user, or what is, from which location this request has come. So every information about that user will be stored inside the server if we talk about stateful. So we will discuss about that. So that is nothing but a REST API. So it is stateless. It means the server will not have any clear information about the server, about the client, I mean to say. When a request reaches to the server, it just gives the response. That's it. And the connection is lost. When you make another request, another new request will be created or request response cycle will happen. So there is no state that the server is going to store at its end. Okay. So this is how it will happen. So there will be uniform interface. With this, what happens? It supports the uniform interface. You can also cache the things. So this is how the server can, reach out. The response can reach out to this particular client. So there are few ways to make the stateless as stateful, and how the server can send the request to the response to the same client. There are few ways. So obviously at the end, all the, architecture will be able to connect to the client, but there is a process of converting this stateless to stateful. Clear? So I hope you are clear with what is REST API. We will be creating APIs only. Why we are talking about this? Because in Node or Express that we will be learning in the next classes, you will be creating the APIs itself. Okay. So the APIs that are created in the Express will follow the same structure, right? So that is the reason. Now let us understand on how to use the HTTP module. So as you understood now, there should be some protocol or there should be some rule that the client should be able to send the request to the server and the server should be able to send the response to the client. There should be some mediator. Now what is a mediator that we just talked about? It was REST architectural way. So there comes the picture of HTTP module. So if there is no particular rules or regulations that we can send the data and receive it, so how the information will be understood between two parties, right? So we follow a rule and there comes this module in Node.js. In Node.js, to handle this particular request response, we have HTTP module. So let's create the server. Let's create the server out of the HTTP module, right? So let me just talk about on that. So we can simply create a simple server right now. So as we are trying to import this particular module, right? So what we will do, you can create multiple files like this. That is nothing but you can create based on the things that you are going to learn. So import the module right now. Okay. So we'll talk about the rest of the things. So for now, we are talking only by using this particular HTTP module, right? We are creating the basic server. So today you are going to create a server over here. Now how to create a server? Simply by importing this module. Now everything is handled by the node. So what you are trying to do over here, you are simply trying to create a server over here. So once you created the server, what the server will be able to do? It will be able to listen to a request and send the response. Now you can ask me, here we do not have any request. We are not sending any request. No. Internally, node is able to get the request. Okay. Then what we will handle over here, we will handle only the response because server is at the end sending the response. So you can send the response in the plain text. You can send the response in the JSON file. You can send the response in the form of HTML files. So these all responses can be sent, right? So let us try to create it. No, you will understand the difference between creating the servers using Node and next about creating the servers using the Express. We'll talk about on that. So for now, let us start creating it. So HTTP is a module that we have installed. Dot create server is a method that we are using it. Now what does this do? This is going to send the response. So you can create any variables over here. Now this is a callback function that we are writing over here, right? So what will happen whenever this particular, whenever a route, the server starts, this particular request will be sent. And then what happens? The response will be sent. Now response.send. Simply you can use many methods over here. Now what you can send? You can send the plain text as a response. Server has sent a response. Okay. So to send this string, what you can do, you can write few headers as well. So to now listen to this particular response, basically you have created a server, but you should keep on listening to it. Okay. So to do that, what you have to do, you have to store it in a variable. Otherwise, you will not be able to listen it. So once you start using with Express, it changes. So whatever the server that you have created over here, you have to store it in a variable. Okay. So I have stored it in a variable, right? Now what you can do, this server needs to listen to a port. Otherwise, the server, there will be no connection that will be built, right? So by default, we have 3000. We'll see that in the next upcoming sessions. So this is what is the thing that we have created. Now, if you try to run this particular file, node HTTP. Now what it is trying to give us. So as I have not given any particular callback function over here, I will tell you, I will update that later. But how you can check the output? You can just go over here because we can make our own system as a server, right? So what we can do, we can call localhost 3000, which is where we are running our server. So right now you can see this particular server that we have written over here is not able to read this particular string, right? So now what we will do, we'll try to, add a header to it. Okay, we'll try to add some header to it. Now, one more important thing, when you try to send the response, when you're creating the server, you have to use a method called end. Okay, you have to use a method called end. Now, whenever you are creating server using Express, there is a send method. This thing you have to remember as well. Now, you can see there is some error that has come up over here. Send is not a function. So send is not the one which will be used with the create server. So send will be used with the Express ones. You have to keep remembering this particular point. So once you go over here, now refresh this particular page. So as we have hit this particular page, what it is happening? We got to listen something over here. Okay, as I've used a node, right? I have not used node 1. I have made some changes to the file. We have to rerun our file. Okay, so as soon as we rerun our file, now what happens? The server has sent the response. This is how you can create a simple server in Node. I guess this much is clear. Now you can add some headers. Where you can see the headers, whenever you go inspect it, you can see some text, right? So you can see some text over here. So whenever we go to the, the network ones, you can see once you refresh this particular thing, you can go over here. Sorry. You can go over here. You can see by default, we got some headers, right? So we can write our headers inside the response, okay, response object. So for that, you can add the response headers as well, okay? So you can write the headers. We'll see that over here, if you want something to be consoled over here to understand whether our file is running or not, so to console and to debug the things, so you can write a callback over here. Okay, so this is how we can create our simple server. Now, what you can see over here, you can say console.log server is listening. So why we are writing these console statements? Because we want to understand nothing was printed or you felt like is it working or not? Then you can console it and you can understand whether it is working or not. So this is how the server has sent the response. Now we'll talk about the request object. So whenever we have requested a particular page, localhost 3000. So in that case, the server has received the request. There are some information inside the request body. The server has sent the response to us. Okay. So this is how we can handle with by creating the server. So we will add few things to this. That is nothing but we'll add the server. I mean, we'll add the headers to this server. Okay. So to write a particular header to this server, what we can do, we can use a method called writeHead. Now the content type is a key to which you can add text plain, which is nothing but a plain text. You can also send JSON file. You can also send HTML file. I have told you, right? So what we will do over here, we will say with the response itself, we will say write head. Okay, so you can use this method. Now, what did I say inside this? There is a particular key value pair called content type. So this should be capital. Just take care of these things once you. Okay. Now this is fine. Now what is that? What is that particular value that we are sending over here? This is nothing but plain text, right? So text / plain. So in this way, we can send, we can update that particular headers with the content type that we are sending. Okay. So that is one thing. You can add the headers like that. Now this is nothing but a JSON object, right? So this also differs when you put, when you send some particular file. In that case, you can put equal to sign. You can place them by placing the commas. These things differ a bit while we send the responses. Okay. So 200 is nothing but the okay ones, right? Whenever, the request and response, cycle is handled in a proper way, then it is nothing but the status is 200. So likewise, we'll try to create the JSON object over here, and then we'll send the, what is that command? Fine. So what you want me to repeat? What is a command in the terminal? For the what? For which one? Which command gave for node modules? What command for node modules? Node modules. Just let me try to give it as a JSON object. What was that? I didn't get it. So the command to run the file is node, the file name. Okay. So to add these node modules, there is no command. Once you start using the first package, these things will get automatically added, right? So we have created the server using the HTTP module, and we have sent a plain text as a response. We'll add the JSON text tomorrow. We'll try to add it over there. So before that, if you have any doubt till here more, you can ask me. Any doubt? Any more doubt? You can send the status, you can, skip it, you can do those things. Any doubt over here? How to use package modules after opening the terminal? Okay. NPM, after opening the terminal, you can say NPM, right? So I'm just stopping it, Control C. You have to use NPM I and the package name. If you are installing a particular package, right? Likewise. Now you could see I didn't import the HTTP module. Why? Because it is the default ones. The node is having the core module called HTTP, right? So let me show you that part as well. If I just go over here in the node documentation, you can see we have a lot of core modules over here. We were talking about this HTTP. Okay. So if you click over here, you can see how you can write the key value pairs, right? So HTTP is a core module. So you no need to install it. So whenever it is a core module, this is what a way of common JS way of using the module. We'll see about that later. Okay, sure. Okay. So
Is this the reason why while running the command we didn't use node http.js?
No. This is the file name that I have given. Okay. This is the file name that I have given. You can give any file name. Okay.
Yeah, but for running index.js, you use the command node index.js.
We can give .js or HTTP. Anything is fine.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. Can give anything. Okay. So, likewise. So we'll see rest of the things. We'll add the JSON file tomorrow to this, and we'll discuss about the architecture. Okay. Any more doubts still here? You can practice on this. Let me know. If you are aware of JavaScript, you can add the JSON file. So that's all for today.
Yeah, thank you, Amita.
Yeah.
Thank you, students. And tomorrow and day after tomorrow is no class. So we'll meet on Monday.